Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, Time with Lauren. I'm so happy to have you here. Today's recipe is a very easy baked oatmeal. My family loves this. It makes a great breakfast, lunch, dinner, or even snack sliced into bars. We eat it both hot and cold with milk, so it's a very versatile recipe, and I believe that your family will love it too. You're going to start out by soaking 3 cups of dry rolled oats. This is not 100% necessary, but it does yield a better end product. Here in this video, I'm only able to soak my oats for about 15 minutes. So I'm showing you right now, I've just poured the 3 cups of water over the 3 cups of oats and stir it around. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt or anything acidic. Even apple cider vinegar would work. You just want that to help break down the oats so they're a little more easily digested. You're going to stir that and let it sit. Gather the rest of your ingredients. I'm going to be using 3 eggs for this recipe. Now you can see that after about 15 minutes, the water and yogurt is completely absorbed and the oats are already starting to break down and soften quite a bit. So after that is done, we are going to continue the recipe in its entirety. We are going to add half a cup of milk. You could also just use water or any dairy-free milk substitute, almond milk, coconut milk, whatever you prefer. You are going to add half a cup of sugar. If you would like, you can use coconut sugar, maple syrup, honey, or even leave the sweetener out altogether. And then I also add a little bit of molasses here just for the brown sugar flavor. And also I am adding a little bit of vanilla extract, probably around a tablespoon, but we measure vanilla with our heart. So you taste and smell and see what seems good for you and your family. And in place of sugar and molasses, you could also use a date syrup to sweeten this. I'm also adding about half a teaspoon of a good sea salt. And then just to bump up the nutrition, we're going to add some ground flaxseed and hemp hearts. Flaxseed is really good and fatty. It has omegas that are great for your brain and cell function. And it also, hemp hearts have extra protein and are good fiber. So those are optional. You could also add chia seeds, but those are just the 2 that I added on this day. And lastly, we are going to add a teaspoon of baking powder just to help give it a little bit of a rise and make it not so dense. That is it. That is all we need for this recipe. You could also add like a pumpkin pie spice or cinnamon. You could also add canned pumpkin, but we are keeping it simple tonight, and that is all we are going to use. So I often will make this recipe at night and then let it sit overnight in the refrigerator. Then I take out my glass baking dish and put the whole thing in a cold oven, and then I will preheat the oven with the glass dish so that it doesn't heat shock it. But this night I'm just baking it ahead of time because we have church early in the morning on Sunday and I want it to go ahead and be baked. So I crumble up my parchment before I set it in my pan just to help it to keep its shape a little better. And all we are going to do is just pour this in, and then I dot the top with a little bit of butter. That is optional, or you could melt butter in your pan, but since I lined the pan with parchment, I just went ahead and put the butter on the top. That is all that we need to do here. So we are going to fill this pan and go ahead and get it in a 350-degree oven until this is set. This doesn't take very long to bake. About 20 to 25 minutes is all. And then it is ready. You can enjoy it nice and warm, or you can keep it in the fridge overnight, and serve it at another time. So like I said, if you want to prep this the night before and bake it the next morning, then or at a later date, all you would have to do is get it to this point here, put it in a glass baking dish, and then when you get ready to bake it, put the glass dish into a cold oven and then turn the oven on and bake it from there. So once it's done baking, you will know because it will be nice and set. You can feel it by touching it. You can see here the butter baked on top. So I'm just trying to spread that around a little bit. But this is going to cool a little bit, and then I will slice it and get it into a large container so that I can serve it up on this next morning before we head out for church. And that is it, y'all. That is how simple this baked oatmeal is to make. It is a great breakfast or snack or even dinner or lunch. It's good and hearty, has lots of good carbs and fat, and with those extra eggs, it gives a good amount of protein. And you know that protein is so important. That's it for today, y'all. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like and share. Comment below with any questions.